The Chicago Rockumentary. The movie that you just watched was basically a creation that kind of just came into my head after I was out in Colorado for, about 2 months, a little over 2 months. And I came back to Illinois, and everything with this project just, gelled. I think I just started thinking, I think I did this because I wanted to believe in the fact that there was a scene where I was from. And I'm not saying that in a sense like we're from, some extremely outer space kind of place, but I know Chicago has a great music scene and has, for a long time, but there's always been a question in my mind wondering that if I was born on the East Coast or the West Coast or, down south in Georgia or, somewhere where there was more artistic types around, if my road would have started and ended a little more, I don't want to say easier, because I don't think creating any kind of art is ever easy, and I don't think it's meant to be. But I'd say maybe it would be more, people might look at you more realistic if you're from certain areas versus others, and it's just kind of a hypothesis or a guess that always has come into my brain from time to time, since I've been alive. But at any rate, I made this film because I wanted to make something that I was proud of from my home city, from my home place, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons from my heart why I made this film. I think it's a type of project that could definitely be done anywhere, and I think that's kind of how I took a positive attitude into it. I said, this is Chicago, this is where I've been born and raised, and why don't I just go out and, make something while I'm here in Chicago, because I do consider myself a drifter type of a person. I'm not always living in the same environment under the same circumstances, and, I love public transportation, and I love cars for driving long distances, and, I've even, experienced long distance train ride, that route, and it's amazing. So, at any rate, I think my mentality was kind of I might not be in Chicago my whole life, the rest of my life. But, is this on? Anyways, this is the way I have the camera angled. It was hard to tell if it was recording, but I guess it is. At any rate, basically what I have here is 13 bands, different styles of music. Obviously, some are just interviews, some are, full band performances. I went out to different venues in the suburbs in the city and obviously did this. That's how it was done. But it was a lot of fun because it was, in these hard times when there's not a lot of full-time work anymore, that doesn't exist as much as it used to in previous decades. I think I was fortunate enough to score 2 part-time jobs. Being Borders and being Pier 1, companies I've worked for in the past, and it was cool. It kind of got me in the know-how of life, of a prime example of it's all about who you know, no matter what you're doing. Like, I think life's ultimate lesson that has taught me from this project is that it's all about who you know. Whatever you as a personal, individual person, I know I said personable, but person, whatever you're capable of doing or whatever you're doing, or I hate the word capable, I should have never said that, sorry. Whatever you're doing with your life, it's all about who you know. Like, it's just all about who you know, because that's kind of how your life is generated. And I don't mean to get all philosophical when I'm just talking about my music movie here, but, you know, it's just how my head's rolling today, and this is the day I'm doing the commentary, so. But this movie has, it's opened my brain up to so many different possibilities in life in general, because I went through pretty much a 7-month process of always working at different places, always out filming, always editing, you know, always like the process went so smoothly, and the one thing that I've learned, you know, from making movies and stuff is that things can go on and on and on, and projects never get resolved or are completely done sometimes because people are always adding things to them. And I think, not that that doesn't happen with music, but I think from a film perspective, it's easier to happen because, you know, it's something you watch. You want to continue to watch it, and you want to continue to do this, and you want to, you know. So, from a film perspective, this project was cool because I really enjoyed the balance of having 2 part-time jobs in different locations of Illinois. And then, you know, I've lived without a car. You know, this is the first time I've gone several months in my entire life without a car, because since I was like, you know, 17, 18, I've had cars, and that's just how most people get around, you know. And like I just took public transportation, and actually the Pier 1 I worked at happened to be in my hometown, and it's just like all worked out. Like, I just started contacting all these bands on MySpace, and just like, you know, can I come and film your guys' set? I'm going to try to put together a local music documentary. And it was just the process. I knew I wasn't, you know, I'll say it, like, I knew I wasn't working with like huge bands, and I knew I wasn't working with nobodies. I was working with the local scene around Chicago, and it was, you know, it was a mute point of my life where everything just fell into place, and I just kept up with it. And, you know, now here it is, and it's Valentine's Day, February 14th, and I have both disc burned, and I'm going to add this last commentary. I'm going to make a DVD, an extra DVD, a 3rd DVD of this, and I don't know, it's just everything came together on this project, and I just learned a lot about life in general, and about people, and about musicians, and about the scene. And not that I haven't, you know, didn't know about this stuff before, but it like refreshed my memory to make me believe in stuff that maybe you used to believe in, you get older and you don't believe in it as much anymore. But it was a good refresher to say, you know, this stuff's still going on. Like, just because everybody gets older and stuff like that doesn't mean it's not going on, you know. That's kind of what the whole thing came out of this was, and I love it. Like, I love this movie I made. I've had a ball, and I think that's about it. I don't really have much else to say. Have a great night. This is Matt Bennett. Hope you enjoyed the Chicago Rockumentary. Thanks. Bye.